Welcome back to the channel. This is Mac, and today we are working on the BMW today. My kids reported smell of just a nasty smell in the car. So my daughter was driving the BMW for a minute while we were fixing her car, and she told me there's a smell, so I drove around. And basically what it is there's a valve cover leak on this car. Very common with these turbo motors. What happens is you'll get an oil leak in the valve cover, and instead of just replacing that valve cover gasket, you have to actually replace the whole valve cover, because the heat from the turbo actually causes that plastic to be really brittle and it'll crack. So essentially what you do is you just buy the whole kit. FCP Euro does sell it. I think it was like 500 and something bucks, but I also bought spark plugs, and I think it was like right under $600 is what I spent. Now this is not sponsored, obviously. I'm not special enough to get sponsored. So I bought it all myself, and that's what we're doing today on the X5. Hey. Okay, so FCP Euro. Okay, valve cover gasket's already on here, all new bolts, super cool. Very nice piece, OEM. All right, so now that we have all this stuff, we gotta take off that one. Let's go and take a look. Okay, so it's under here. So we'll go ahead and start taking all this stuff off. Oh yeah, that looks like it's gonna be a pain. Hopefully it's not. Let's get all my tools out, find out what we're gonna need. To do this job, the valve cover gasket, and plugs, this is what you're gonna need. You're gonna need a 5mm socket, an 8mm socket, a 10, an 11, a 13, a 14, 15, and 16. Yes, you're gonna need all of those. To do the spark plugs, you are going to need a 14 thin wall socket. It is custom for the BMW. You will need that with a wobbly attachment to get it in there. You cannot use a standard extension to do it. You need a wobble end. You will need a T25 and a T30 socket tip. A lot of those. You will need some pick tools, some pliers, a Phillips head screwdriver. This is just the T25 right there. A pry tool to get your plastic straps out. You don't have to have these. You could just use regular ratchets. You will need a torque wrench, and you may need this, you may not need a pry tool. You will also need a 17 and a 14. We use these for the fuel lines. You'll need those for the fuel lines, a 17 and a 14. If you have crow's feet, use those, but I did not, so I just had to use my open end. And in case you drop anything, magnet's always nice. Anyway, this is what you're gonna need to do this job. Okay, here's a good look at all the parts. We're gonna need, just on these parts alone, you'll need an 8mm socket for these bolts here, a 5mm for these bolts here. And again, this is what everything comes with. And it comes with lifetime replacement guarantee. So this is kind of why I go through FCP Euro, is because of this lifetime replacement. And OEM parts and the cost. There's a lot of perks. But this is a very complete intake right here. All right. Let me put my under hood lamp on and start on the process of removing everything in here. Oh, let's go ahead and put this back on for right now. So the issue with this valve cover is anywhere it leaks, what it does is it'll actually leak from this side right here, and it'll drip down all the way to the back, and then it will drop down on the turbo intake over there onto a turbo pipe. So then it burns off, and that's what you're smelling. It does come into the cabin and you can smell it in there. So that's so if you are smelling oil, burnt oil and stuff, and you're not seeing the oil on the ground, it's because what's happening is it's pulling up, going all the way to the back and dripping down onto the exhaust and burning off. So that's why we need to go ahead and kind of take this off. So the first step is we're going to take off this intake tube right here, take off that, and oh my god, there's sand everywhere. Just make sure we don't get sand anywhere. So probably going to blow that off first. Okay.
That hurt though. It really did.
This is why you get a new one of these.
Oh no, now there's blood.
Oh, how does this come off?
Like that. I wouldn't even worry about it. We lay that dude to the side if we can, yeah. Something. We didn't have to take this off. Oh yeah, we do. No, we don't. There we go. Two of them. Jesus. Come. Well. That's fucking nice.
I just did that a minute ago.
I don't know. I can't see. That was much nicer. Aluminum. Wobbled it.
Kind of give you a quick update where we're at. We are got a lot of this stuff pulled off. We had to pull all the shroud off of here to kind of get behind here so we can get to the bolts on the back of the intake. So now that we got that off, we can actually do the bolts back there and start taking this apart. Okay, you can see all the oil in this little galleyway right here. So we have an idea what we're dealing with, why we need to replace it. Okay, now we gotta get behind there and get those extra bolts out. So if you're screaming and yelling and trying to figure out how to get the bolts out of the back, what you do is you have a skinny friend hop on the engine bay and reach back there and get them. There, Mike.
Yep. I will never own a Beamer. Unless I'm a billionaire.
Yeah. So we could just take and get this serviced.
Yes.
But if you're broke like me all the time. Anyway, there's 3 on the back side. This back corner one's probably the most difficult one to get.
There's one there.
These 2 right there aren't that bad.
Yeah.
But everything else is pretty easy to get access except for that one big one. Because you have to undo all of this, take this whole panel out. It's been pretty challenging. Close your eyes.
She done bled it. She didn't squirt no more.
Sweet. Got the fuel rail off. We got everything ready. This thing moves. The only thing we have to get is this fuel injector harness and our coil pack harness out of here. So gotta use 8mm to undo the grounds. You gotta pop these caps off, remove these, and then on these fuel injection things right here, you got to use a little pick tool to stick it between there and kind of pry it out a little bit and wiggle it out. So that's what I'm going to be doing now on all of these. Yep, the power of the internets. Oh!
Then he said, take this and do this.
Oh!
Come on.
Yep. You gotta go your way. Just straight. There we go. Right there. Keep going up.
What's holding me? Oh.
Valve cover's out, so we're gonna go put it on the work
Somewhere.
We're gonna clear some space. But this is what it looks like in here. So while we're in here, while we're transferring this stuff over, one of us is going to go ahead and pull these coil packs out, change out the spark plugs, and then you can kind of see, you can see where the oil's been leaking out and causing a mess. So we're going to clean that off too. But yep, that's what valve train looks like. All right, well, I was about to start swapping everything over, but there's not much to swap over. It comes with all the bolts. I got a new one of these that I broke. I got a new cap. Oh, I didn't get stickers. I'm missing stickers. Oh, I guess there's this rubber grommet. Okay. Other than that, it's good to go. I just need to put it in. That makes it, Mike. I don't have to do much swap over. It just goes in like that.
Heck yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, I'm not trying to minimize what we did. This is a pain in the butt, but still, it was actually really easy, and all the parts came with it. So I'm gonna make sure these gaskets are clean. Do a quick little wipe out of in here. I don't want any contaminants going into my motor, but we're also doing the spark plugs. So we're gonna remove those coil packs and then put the new spark plugs in. Quick update. We spent the last, I don't know, Mike, 2 hours?
Yeah.
2 hours trying to figure out how to take the sockets out. I'm sorry. Take the spark plugs out of this engine. So I watched a few videos on how to do this, just like you probably are. And we noticed that our 14 millimeter socket, that this is 14 millimeter, will not fit in there. And right in there. What we need is a 14 millimeter thin wall socket that's designated for this car. So I went all over trying to find a smaller socket for this application. Could not find one. So I called my friend. He says he might have it still. It's one of those deals of he let other people borrow it. Let's hope he still has it. But I went to 3 different auto places, auto stores, Lowe's. I remember at one time that Harbor Freight had thin wall stuff, but they didn't have it. Lowe's, Home Depot, nothing. I did order one online today, just as a backup, but my buddy said he has one as well. So hopefully in a couple hours I'll stop by and bring it. So I'm gonna still put the intake on and go ahead and start that process, and I'll leave it apart until we get our new, get the spark plugs out and put the new ones in. So anyway, so you'll be watching me kind of putting everything back together. Okay, bye. All right, now that I have the valve cover on there, obviously I cleaned all the surfaces, cleaned the gasket to make sure there's nothing on this thing. And I have these kind of hand tight. You can kind of see I can unscrew these in my hand. I'm not gonna torque them down until I have kind of everything in place. You kind of want to have this thing just hand tight at first, and then you want to torque it down. I'll get the torque specs for you here in a second. But I did want to close this off and make sure that nothing was getting in the oil and have this on as soon as possible. All right, this is kind of what it looks like. This is at this phase, so more to come. We torqued all of them to 6 foot-pounds of torque. Do not go crazy on them. You will crack this plastic valve cover. That's all done. Now we need to set up all this, and we can start putting most of the stuff back together, but we kind of want to leave this back cowl off so we can get the spark plug out. Just give ourselves some more room, but figured we'll at least hook up this panel, hook up the injectors, and hook up the grounds again. Oh yeah, we're also gonna put that back on.
Huh?
The fuel injection.
Who is?
I am. We are. We're putting that back on.
This?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we have. They have to spray.
Who does? Who has to spray?
Me.
Oh yeah.
Skeeters.
Do we have some spray?
God dang it.
You want to get me some spray too?
Yeah, I got some in the truck, but you got some right here.
I don't have some right here.
You got to torque all those two or no?
No. Oh, that's definitely not a 15. 14?
I haven't tightened this either.
I think that's the 15. Or it's the 17 that's on the thing over there.
Where? Over here?
Yeah, on the freezer. Workbench.
Workbench today. Dick fucking furs. These big wires.
Okay, before that's all gonna get in the way. I think we should leave it all done.
Oh, okay.
Because that spark plug right here,
Oh, yeah.
I want to give myself enough room to get it in and out. This is the old one. The reason why they give you a new one is because more than likely you're gonna break these clips right here. So they give you a new one. So we're getting to the point where we're kind of stuck until we get that spark plug tool, just to give ourselves enough room to get the stuff out. But we may have to wait till he gets here, because what about this tool right here? This goes in right here. It plugs in to what? Intake? Yeah, we can't put that on until later. Okay, let's just wait.
Yeah, so we gotta wait on that. 'Cause
Yep.
that goes in there.
Let's put these out. This actually is not that. I mean, it's a pain in the butt, but it's not too bad. Right, Mike? Was it too bad?
Yeah,
It's bad.
it's bad.
Okay.
Buy a Ford.
Buy a Ford,
Or a
he
Chevy.
says, or a Chevy. Let me know what your comments are. Is this worth it?
Well, it makes the wife happy, so.
Yeah. Did you tighten that good up there?
What?
The fuel?
No, I had left it cracked a little bit. That way she'd smell gas.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Yeah, I got it.
Good morning. It is day 2. And last night I was able to get the spark plugs put back in. Now I didn't get that on tape because we had a friend of mine bring the socket over, and I didn't want to be rude and start recording with him on the phone. So I kind of wanted to show you the difference in sockets here. Okay, so they're the same height, so the height isn't an issue, but you can clearly see that one is definitely smaller than the other, and it fits just right in there, goes over the spark plug and gets right in there. So if you are changing out your spark plugs on your BMW N55, you will need this spark plug socket. So here are my plugs going from 1 to 6. Can I kind of see them? Normal wear and tear. I don't even think these are ever replaced. But they're replaced now. So I will be getting my new cabin filter, air filter, and stuff like that today. We did order them. So kind of like a big old maintenance job for this car. It'll be, hopefully I'll get better gas mileage and stuff. This gets way better gas mileage than the truck as it is. But, all right. So next steps. So you'll see the spark plugs are in there. We need to plug in these fuel injection wires, these plug wires, and these grounds. So I'll be doing that now. You can see that, you know, these are nicely organized, so I can't mess them up. Even though this is kind of intimidating, I've never been in a car where you actually have a ground and all this stuff on here like this, but should be self-explanatory. So I'm going to put all those in now and start buttoning this up.
You want me to cut?
Sure. Were those two O2 sensor wires supposed to be on top of this? Do you know?
No, I don't know.
These
that
wires?
part. These?
These two?
No, that's what I'm trying to. No, they were.
They were on top.
Yeah, they
right?
were on top, but.
Yeah.
And then these go snapped in here.
Okay. Well, here, move. Where's this supposed to go? Just right here?
Remember that was. These were. Well, I thought those were back here behind this. I could have swore. And then these go up here.
Those two O2 sensor wires, you think they were below?
Yeah, because I remember they clipped into this little clip right here. I just clip them in, and then that comes down.
Okay.
And then this wire goes in the back.
Okay. That goes in the back one, yeah?
In there.
Oh, wait, these are reversed. This one goes in the back. like this. And then this one goes on top, right here, on top. What's that third line for? Is there a third power? Third port on that?
Where you see the third? Yeah, this one. One of these went in there.
No.
They were side by side.
Yeah, this one they stack. I think. Okay, quick update. My other camera died, so we're just gonna kind of give some updates. So we've got the air intake on here. It just kind of goes in here. You have these rubber grommets right here. Let me show you. Right here. This rubber grommet needs to be attached to this air duct first, and then you push it on the pike that's in the middle of this. Same thing with these over here. Sometime when you're pulling these air boxes out, the rubber grommets come off. You need to put them on first before you try to put them on the engine. So otherwise you'll be struggling hardcore. So that's what we're doing right now. It's just we're gonna push those on right now. And Mike, you want to do the honors and push that on? There's nothing unplugged in here, right? Okay.
Oh, that was that one already broke, or did you break it? There. No.
Nothing's broken.
Nothing.
There we go. There we go. Next thing is we're gonna start hooking all this stuff up to the intake. Okay. Over here.
The other one.
I needed a little persuasion for this to push up here, so I just took some channel locks. Did not squeeze on, just kind of guided right here in this plastic piece. Just pushed it and kind of went in. Now, if you had some ring plier or some type of hose pliers, that probably would have worked better, but I don't have any. So I'm gonna go ahead and just put all this back together, and it's simple for you guys. I don't think you need to watch that, but we'll come back for the first start of the car and all that stuff after all this is back together. Boom. Okay, so this is all here. That's all there. That's all here. Before we get started, we're gonna go ahead and start the car. Before we cover up anything more, just to make sure there's no leaks in the fuel, because we did open up the fuel and all that good stuff. So okay. I did hear the fuel pump prime, Mike. We're just gonna throw an air filter in here, just make sure we're good here. This is the old one. We're gonna replace it with a new one. So here we go, Mike.
Oh, no.
Amazing.
This
Freaking
minute.
started. I'm so excited. I've never really got this far in a BMW before, so the fact that we followed all the steps, cleaned everything up, and made sure there's no fuel leaking, all that good stuff. And you heard the rough start. Obviously, it's because the fuel is coming back in lines. I had to load back up. That's very common. So you got to hear the first startup with us. So no errors on the car yet. So we're gonna go ahead and button this back up, and I'll be back for a test drive. All right, car's been running for about 15-20 minutes now, just sitting in here. What we're gonna do is, I already checked, there's no oil leaking. All the residuals are kind of burned off, so we're gonna go for a quick test drive. Give it the juice. See how she's running.
Not out in the chair.
Not out here to say hi. Might be too early.
Yeah. I think lawyers sleep in.
It is Sunday. So we don't have the cabin filters in here right now, so if anything was burning, we'd smell it right away. I don't smell anything.
I don't smell nothing. Yeah, you feel that.
Okay. Well, the power's still there.
Yeah.
Smell any oil?
No, not yet.
I don't smell anything either. Well, guys, we're gonna go ahead and take it for a little bit longer of a drive. We'll probably turn it back on if we see anything. If not, you'll see us back at the house wrapping things up. All right, later. Okay, parts finally came in. Here they are. I'll put a link to it from Amazon to make it easy on you below. Okay. Anyway, super easy. Just an air filter and also cabin filters. Cabin filters go here. Air filter goes here. So we're gonna quickly put those in. And we'll be done with this whole valve cover job.
See the difference?
Oh, big difference there.
Yep, been a minute. Couple.
That's like a smoker's lungs versus a non-smoker's lungs. Alright. Alright. Now let's go ahead and put the cabin filters into this thing. Basically, they just fit in these two slots right here. There's two of them. I'll slide them in right now.
Car ain't gonna know how to act.
I know, with all this new stuff.
I'm tired, so I'll get this back one tomorrow. Where's that came out?
Wife.
Sounded like somebody. Oh, the wife.
Yeah. The wife.
The wife. This is the wife.
The wifey. Yeah, doing this stuff on camera and holding the camera and your shoelaces being untied, super annoying. Okay, that's in there.
Is that the new ones?
Those are the new ones.
Oh, they
Look a lot better than another one.
Yeah, they look better, but
yeah. Okay. Let's throw those suckers in there.
I don't know. I tried. There it is.
Oh, there it is. And the final. Slide those in. Oh, wait. Pick it up.
Oh, you gotta take that off. Yeah. Something's missing.
Oh, the tabs? Oh, maybe we didn't remember to bring those over. Okay, let's get to the other valve cover. Okay, we'll be back. Do not forget these two little things. I overlooked them. They're I believe it's a 10 millimeter? 13 millimeter. You go right here, right there. Right here and right there. Okay? All right. Your new one does not come with these. Put them on. Okay, putting those on now. Okay, we are finished. So Mike, do us the honors. Okay. She's looking good.
Locked in.
Okay, we just need to shut off the light. Wrap this up. All right, this concludes the BMW valve cover job. So if you have any questions, please make comments in the below. If you have any questions about the parts, I left all the links under below if you need to get anything. So I left all the parts below in the description. All right, until next time, guys, have a good one. Bye.